Hi everybody, welcome to Unit 9 Critique for Landscape Photography, and we're going to start with Michael since he turned in his work first. But with Michael, I think I'd like to go and view a larger version of his pictures, if I can do that. Let's see. Just a second. I'm not the fastest person. You might have noticed. I think that comes with age. Okay, here we go with Michael. Alright, let's just take a look here. Okay, so Michael, I am absolutely in love with the, I'm just like not the most up-to-date person on apps and filters and such, but this frame that you've got around your contact sheet here is so old school, like a real film photographer would have had in the past, and I kind of absolutely love it. So that's very cool, and I like this graphic circle that you created as well. And then, oh my goodness, let me see if I can make this bigger. Hold on just a second. Okay, so now it kind of reorganized your photos, so sorry about that, I wasn't prepared. But this is your panorama, and I think this is very interesting. It's almost like a time-lapse photography because, we get that perfect line of the fence, and then we've got this shadow, which seems to be so curved in comparison. So, very interesting. Great work there. And let's see, the next one is your beach scene. You must live near a beautiful, huge lake. I love how you place the subject of this post out in the water on the rule of thirds. So it's almost like a third over from the left. And then we've got this other interesting object down here, which appears to be, some kind of driftwood or log. And your horizon is almost perfectly straight. So awesome. And then this picture, oh my gosh, Michael, this is like very cool. I love that your horizon is perfectly straight. I love that you experimented with the color and made it black and white, yet it still has a warm tone. So that's pretty advanced stuff there. And I really like the subject matter as well. And then this one, I love the highlights and the shadows on the trees from your time of day. This is just gorgeous on this tree, all of those shadows. We get a beautiful little bit of sky there. I'm not super crazy about the fence, but what are you going to do? You can't get rid of the fences unless you crop them out. So we can talk about that too. Okay, moving on. Let's see. I had Michael. Guess. Hold on. Okay, moving on to Caden. Let me a little bigger there. So, very nice contact sheet. And I'm so glad you enjoyed this week. This is just the kind of thing that I would stop the car, and get out those. I don't know what it is about those pink weeds, but they always attract me. It's usually when the sunlight is like kind of glowing around them, when the sun's going down. It's just gorgeous. And so this is a lovely photo. I see you've got this lens flare here, which can be really cool. And then I'm gonna show you how to fix this horizon, because that will be a big deal moving forward. And this one's nice as well. I like seeing, the layers of color here in the foreground, and then in the middle ground, and then way in the background we've got, such interesting things happening. Beautiful color. Okay, and this one is nice as well. And then what a great panorama. So here's where your lens flare, you know, is starting to show up a little bit more. I honestly I'm not too worried about the lens flare thing. I kind of like lens flare. I think it's interesting. I love optics and, you know, light reflecting on glass. So we're going to come back to you in just a second because we're going to see if we can do a quick straightening of your horizon. But let's look at Dylan. Dylan, I'm so glad you enjoyed this week. And your contact sheet is really interesting. I'd love to see this photograph again. And you got a beautiful rainbow and oh my goodness. Oh, I kind of see. Some of these pictures are from other states maybe. So, kind of obvious that these aren't the pictures that you took in this shoot with the dates there. But I think down here we see your pictures. And that's fine. Now this is, it's almost like surreal. It's almost like, it must be a golf course, I swear. You just never see grass that's so perfect and even like that. Very nice, straight, beautiful photo. And I like this one too. That's an awesome tree. Water is gorgeous. And I like all the dappled sunshine you got on this one. And even the grass looks so shiny and healthy and happy. Very nice and straight. And then your panorama, I've had panoramas like this myself, and what happened is you know, Photoshop didn't know quite what to do. Photoshop got a little lost here. So there's just such differences in these spaces. I know it feels like you did, you know, your perfect rotation where you went picture, picture, picture all in a row, but Photoshop couldn't quite put it together. So so if it were me, I probably would have just deleted this part and then cropped this out, and then you would have had a straight panorama. So you can do that. It's okay, it's not cheating. But this was our first try with the panorama, so I wouldn't worry about it this time. I am absolutely in love with this shadowy area and that gorgeous light here from, you know, that's artificial light. So it looks kind of like you use flash maybe to get that lightness in the foreground. And then this is such a cool area here. I love that. So nice work this week. Okay, and now we've got Kaverion. Oh, I'm so glad you enjoyed it, Kaverion. Photography is just the best thing in the world. Finding different scenery, you know, when I used to teach middle school, I would tell the kids, okay, I want you to choose a 4-foot square of ground and see how many different scenes you can get from this 4-foot square of ground. So they would have to, you know, maybe overhead, maybe way down, you know, laying on your belly to get an interesting shot of the ground in front of you, playing with depth of field. So there's a lot of things you can do. And I don't think you had a problem at all. I mean, I was reading what Michaela said about she loved the shot with the building, and you know, when I first looked at this picture, I didn't even notice the building. My eyes were too busy going to these lines in the foreground, you know, which are probably lines from the lawnmower, but they really lead our eyes toward the center and yeah, eventually to the building in the background. So this is a cool image. And this one is pretty amazing, actually. It's a little tilted, and so we can fix that. but I just kind of really love that. I mean, we've got these tremendous trees. It kind of reminds me of, gosh, you know, like a painting from the 1700s where we're looking at the landscape, but then there's, you know, all these little tiny people by the lake, you know, having an outing. That's a beautiful picture. This one is interesting as well. I think you have some beautiful grounds to look at. I mean, we don't have to go to Paris or to the beach, or, you know, anybody can do that. Anybody can go to Egypt and take great pictures of the pyramids. But, you know, can you do something in your own backyard? That's the challenge. And then your panorama is killer. Wow, I just love these shadows. It almost looks like we're changing times of day across the scene. This is beautiful. I love it. Great, great, great. And then Michaela, I know you were, you mentioned that the lighting in your photos kept changing. Well, hey, lighting is everything. Just let me tell you. I think your pictures are gorgeous. Look at this. Look at that big spot of golden light. That's to die for. Get right out there and get that beautiful lighting, because it's a game changer. It's everything. Oh, wait a minute. This is your panorama. I was kind of trying to figure out how you got this scene, but wow, that's gorgeous. Look at this beautiful little stream, and we can see all of it, and the plant life, and, you know, the woods behind it, and you know, all of this, what is it, moss or lichen or algae or whatever is growing here. It's just beautiful. This is a gorgeous photo. Keeper. This one has some nice silhouettes in it. You know, the dark against the light. I like it. And oh, this is gorgeous. And this reminds me of something else we need to talk about, which is the size of your images. Ah, I love it. I love that. And this is so sweet. It just reminds me of going for walks in the woods in Pennsylvania, where I'm from. Okay, so what we're going to do now is we're going to go into Photoshop. And let's take some of our examples this week. Wait till you see my pictures that are in here. This week has been all about my little ones. I don't know why only Michael's showing up in here, but let's see if he has anything to fix. I don't think he did. I think he was all good. Oh, I could show you how to crop out that fence. I'll just change the size of my frame here, maybe. Sometimes it wants to grab the Screencast-O-Matic wants to grab something that I don't want it to grab. Okay, so we can see basically everything there. Alright, so cropping. It's interesting that, you know, you have all kinds of options in the crop tool. So you could go with your original ratio, which is usually a good idea. And we'll talk about that again in a minute as well. So I could just take care of getting rid of that fence by going up and over. And then I like to play around with, you know, what is my favorite part of this picture? And honestly, that's up to you. You might not like that the ground is now missing. I love that beautiful color in the sky there, so I don't want to miss out on that. So I could just, you know, hit return. And then there's my new photo. and it will fit the same what they call aspect ratio of the rest of your images. Okay, so that's going to be an important thing. And so we're just going to do File, Save As, right? File, Save As, save to your computer. I always save it there. And you could name it if you want to, but I honestly really like keeping the name of the image. If I were going to change the name of the image, I would make a copy. But keeping those numbers is going to help you in case you ever want to do anything different or special with this, this particular image. So see how you can save it as a copy. Sometimes I'll just go put crop in there. So that's a crop. I tried it. And save. And I always keep the quality to the highest. Okay, so there's a new image. Okay, now let me just see. Hold on one second. Okay, here's Dylan's panorama that I was gonna just show you how to crop this, and we don't want original ratio this time. We want just custom. Sorry, I just had to take a few bites of dinner. I hadn't eaten yet. So when I select the crop tool, I just had to select clear, so it wasn't doing any certain aspect ratios, because I don't need that for cropping this panorama. So we want it to look like all one picture, right? So there we go, just inside of the overall shape, and now you've still got a panorama, but it feels like more believable, you know. Okay, I don't think we need to save that. I think you get what I'm saying. Okay, the other thing I wanted to look at was, I think, just straightening. And let me see, was it Caverion? So beautiful. Oh, that's awesome. Maybe Caden? Yes. Okay. So let's open this in Photoshop and show you a super quick and easy straighten tool. And you just go from one. Hope I didn't show you this already, you know, just remember I'm old. And then just perfectly fixes it for you. So straighten is just the best. Isn't it the best? I love it. And so now, you know, we've got a straight horizon. You might want to experiment with cropping it so that it meets more of the rule of thirds, but I don't know, I like it like it is. So really, I think that was all I wanted to show you. Now I'm going to save that. But the reason why I wanted to show you those things is because we're really getting into, you know, the final few weeks of class. And you guys are going to need to start saving at least 3 images for each style of artwork. And then you'll expand upon that, the one that's your favorite at the end. So your best pictures for landscape, your food photography, your still lifes, you're going to want to make them look as good as they can possibly look and save them in separate folders. You know, you might have a Art 175 folder on your desktop, and then you know, the various categories, because that's going to become really important. You don't want to have to do it all at the end. So anyway, I hope that helps, and have a great week. I think we did an awesome week. And I'll tell you, isn't it great to have to get outside? You have to go outside. Oh, the best assignment ever, right? Okay, talk to you soon. Bye-bye.